EDL 850 School Law Internet Use Violations Case Study Standard 5 Suzanne Bouret. Problem Identification and Analysis. What do you know? The case study stated that Dr. Stephen Forbes was a principal for 9 years at an affluent high school in a large city. He was recognized 2 years ago as Principal of the Year by the State Secondary Principals Association. That the community is made up of parents that are well-respected doctors, lawyers, and financial firm partners. That the school hires only qualified teachers to meet the community's high expectations. And that new hire, Miss Cindy Walker, is highly educated with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and continued other graduate work, and this is her first teaching position. We also know that Miss Walker has a high stress level classroom environment, that the parents and the students have complained and are concerned about the instruction and student grades, that Miss Walker has been given ways to reduce stress and increase student interactions, but has not successfully implemented them. Also knowing that Miss Walker has received an anonymous email containing a threatening website about her and her teaching. Continued problem identification and analysis. What do you need to know? What is being done to track the email and the website? What methods is the school currently using to monitor and evaluate teachers? And what procedures does the school use for new hires to the district? Identifying the problems. That it wasn't followed through on suggestions and classroom observations with Miss Walker by the principal. The school didn't have or appeared to have a crisis management policy in place that addressed internet use violations, and that the school doesn't appear to have a successful mentoring completion process. Proposed plan of action and strategies. The plan of action, step 1, is to establish where the emails and website generated and whom was responsible for creating them. Step 2, create and implement a teacher mentoring program. Step 3, create a schedule for classroom observations and evaluations. Step 4, reassess the current crisis management policy and implement a section for internet use violations and disciplinary actions. Resolving issues, promoting the success of all students. Standard 5. An education leader promotes the success of every student by acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. The functions of Standard 5 are to ensure a system of accountability for every student's academic and social success. Model the principles of self-awareness, reflective practice, transparency, and ethical behavior. Safeguard the values of democracy, equity, and diversity. Consider and evaluate the potential moral and legal consequences of decision-making, and promote social justice and ensure that individual student needs inform all aspects of schooling. Continuing with promoting the success of all students, Standard 5, leading with integrity in a fair and ethical manner, is simply broken down into 3 parts of integrity, fairness, and ethics. The first example involving integrity is that the principal discussed techniques with Miss Walker that could be used to reduce student stress. I feel that this is very important to continue the high academic standards of the school, and it is vital that all staff have available to them a mentoring and evaluation process. Continuing with Standard 5, the quote from the case study is that I sincerely believe the email and the web page was a prank. Is there a student who is unhappy with you? Think about last week and try to remember particular incidents with disgruntled or disruptive students. This applies to the second portion of Standard 5, which is fairness. As a principal, I need to keep an open mind to why the incident occurred and being open to exploring it first thing Monday morning. And the reason I say Monday is because this case happened over a holiday weekend. But the main thing is just to do it follow up first thing the next school day as soon as possible, making it priority list number 1. And that making the printed copies to have a visual representation of the offense, and that is just to show whoever we're meeting with, whether it be other school personnel, teachers, staff, students, that we feel are connected with this case, to where they can actually see what was stated, what has been accused, what is up for conduct evaluation. And also keeping the computer technologist as an option. And the reason I say that is because if you talk to students and they simply state that they are not involved, which most students would not probably admit to something, especially if it is as severe as a violation as this website incident appears to be, you're probably going to have to go to the next level of actually tracking where it came from and who created it. And even if it was created by a student and possibly not somebody else within the school or community. Promoting the success of all students, Standard 5. Leading with integrity in a fair and ethical manner. The third quote pertaining to ethics is recognized as Principal of the Year. I feel that it's very important that if you've been at a school for any significant length of time and have been given awards or criteria and nomination for accelerating yourself to a higher level, that you make sure that all teachers also have the ability to follow in your footsteps by making sure that they have proper guidance and mentoring. As an example, show how training and workshops help to strengthen your skill set. Obviously, as a principal and administrator, you started out as a teacher and just continually built yourself over a period of time by taking courses and different workshops and trainings to just help grow in your abilities. And so if you don't pass those same criteria and availability down to your staff, then you're really just undercutting yourself as a leader. And also make sure that there's a schedule for regular classroom visits. Also stop in for periodic and spontaneous evaluations and reviews, and remember that not every visit to the classroom has to have the pencil and the paper and be writing things down, but just make yourself available and visual. Reflection. Acted with fairness. Did the principal treat the situation fairly? After reading the case, I felt that if I was the principal, that yes, I would have been responsive to Ms. Walker's concern for safety. But in reading the case the way it was, I didn't feel that I gave anyone else blame. I felt that the blame was solely put on the teacher, asking if a student was upset with the teacher, was there disruptive or disgruntled students. It might have simply just been a case of a new teacher not fitting in well with a well-established community and a school, and somebody trying to see if they can basically scare her. And so I feel like there was some things that could have been done to treat the situation a little more fairly than it was treated. Demonstrate a personal and professional code of ethics. Does the principal follow a code of ethics? I feel that yes, just based on the fact that the principal won the Principal of the Year by the secondary school committee was great. Being at a job for 9 years in a large city in an affluent population speaks highly for the principal. There was an attempt to assist the teacher with classroom strategies, and somewhat listened to the parent and student concerns. I felt that there could have been more done there, but those things were at least done, and so ethics are being not only established but followed. Reflection for thinking that the principal did not do enough leading up to the incident. I felt that evaluations didn't appear, according to the case, to have been utilized to the fullest. Teacher mentoring, it didn't appear that the brand new teacher in the school setting was given a mentor or even a senior tenured teacher to consult with and confer with, and that the follow-up of complaints by the student and parents didn't seem like that appeared to have been done, and that's a must. Communication and follow-up are key with any situation, but it appeared that that didn't seem to happen. Feeling that there is a need for not only student safety but safety as well. There should have been done more on my part to prevent the situation. It's better to be proactive than reactive, and this case to me kind of screamed reactive. And not taking initiative for community and parent involvement in creating the crisis management plan and dealing with internet use violations. It didn't seem like this school had ever dealt with something of this nature, and so it kind of felt like on the principal's end it was just kind of short of what was needing to be done and what was done. Valuing. Being relieved that the staff is highly qualified. That yes, it's great that the staff is highly qualified, but it seems like in the case of Miss Walker, education kind of replaced the teacher-student communication and interaction. Yes, she was highly qualified, but there's more to being a teacher than just being trained in the content area. There needs to also be that social and personal element as well. The only thing the students and parents care about is grades and class ranking. I don't think that that's true. I think even in this case there was a lot more going on, and it seemed like the school kind of forgot that the students and parents had feelings and emotions involved beyond just grades and becoming successful. Unresolved and still investigating. Basically where the threats came from, following up, making sure that that is found out. Teachers' growth and continued status with the school. Is the teacher even eligible for continuing with the school the previous school year with our high expectations? And a crisis management review, making sure that there is an internet use violation policy in place. demonstrating a sense of integrity and ethical behavior. What could have caused this kind of behavior towards